So, where do I begin with Shokugeki no Souma? Now, I do read the manga. I don't review it, but I read it, and I'm up to date for the most part, I think. And when you read the manga, the parts that over-sexualize the food, like it's an orgasm, like one bite out of this meat dish and you're straight to heaven, those parts are maybe like 2 pages, 3 pages, 4 pages tops. And sometimes, depending on if it's a double spread or if it's like a big event, they'll, drag it out a little bit longer. So 5 pages tops, right? In this, and so like in the manga, it's not that bad. Like, you can get over it. In the episode, in actual animation, holy hell, the over-sexualization is blown way the fuck out of proportion. It's just jiggling boobs everywhere. And there's no bias. It's both girls and guys. And like when you have I forgot what her name was, so let's call her the land shark lady. The land shark lady, when she's talking shit about the Yukihara shop, and Souma delivers a fantastic dish, like a fake meat dish. Well, there was bacon, so like it can't really be fake meat, but the substance, it wasn't meat in the middle. It was actually potatoes that absorbed the bacon fat and oils. And it was cool seeing how he went through the process by which he cooked it. And the animation is gorgeous, don't get me wrong, it's fantastic. And I like how sometimes you have like stats showing up here and there, like how he actually cooked it. At some point when you have like the bacon fat being absorbed into potatoes, you have like these little small sidebars like uma, 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 which I think it means, delicious or tasty in Japanese. So like that was hilarious. But when she takes the bite the first time, it's like she's in heaven. Straight up. Like some dude with like a really big cock just slammed her. Boom. Like, yeah. And then she's taking it all in. And then they have this discussion, her and Souma. He's like, this is the food you criticize, and yet you seem to be enjoying this. And when she takes away the food, well, no, not even that, before then, he's talking about how he actually made the dish. And she is like sitting in her chair, putting her hands between her legs, as if she was so moist, unbelievably wet, dripping with fluids. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like the sugar walls couldn't stop secreting. I'm like, wait. It's a fucking meal. Like straight up. Like it was amazing. And it's not just for that one instant. It's for like every instant. Particularly the females who get like this insane, focus when they eat the meal. The lips and then like the shifting and yeah. It's like, what the fuck? Like, what are you doing? And it's insane. Like, again, in the manga, there were no sound effects, there was no motion, and it was like 2 pages. Like, you can just skim through those pages, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. You have to sit through this shit for like 5 minutes, and you're like this is borderline hentai. It really is. The one scene at the beginning, Souma feeds his friend the peanut butter and squid, which by the way is a nasty fucking hell. That's gross. It just sounds gross, let alone looking at it. And when they went into the whole tentacles and the peanut butter, there was like a legit scene where you have like 8 tentacles just thrust themselves into like her private region. I'm like, and there's peanut butter going all over the place. That's nuts. That's insane. Okay? So, first of all, now getting onto the core of the review. Number one, the animation is fantastic. It is vibrant, it is colorful. And actually, I noticed how, like, even like the little things, like for example, when you have, I forgot what her name was, the friend that really liked his dish, Souma's dish, but she chose his father. And you can see by the parent-father, like the father-son dynamic. I don't know where mom is, but the father-son dynamic is pretty strong there. And pretty much, it was like she kind of liked Souma. And when she's trying to explain how your dish was still good, you can see like these weird like shockwave bubbles coming from her face. Like showing that she was anxious. Showing that she was trying to... Well, okay, let me leave it at that. Let me not go any further. But basically, I can tell that the animation, it's animated. Like, and when I say animated, I mean like it's very dramatic. That's what I mean. Like me. I'm a very animated dude, if you haven't noticed. And this episode is a clear indication that the episode in general, the animation is made to be overly dramatic. That's why you have this insane sexualization when they're eating food. Now, moving on, the pacing, it was well structured. They did, I think, wrap up. I want to say they wrapped up like, well, the first chapter of a manga is always like the longest chapter. So I think that they actually covered that chapter and then a little bit more in this episode. So I want to say from a manga anime standpoint, they cover about like, I want to say 2 chapters to 3 chapters. Because again, the first chapter is always like the longest chapter when it comes to a shonen series, or like most series in general have like the longest chapter being the first chapter. So for the most part, pacing, overall, pretty nice pacing in comparison to the manga. They did cover a lot of ground. You have Souma. So let me go over here to the characterization. Souma, he is, like he's not a full-blown chef, but, he pretty much is under his father's wing. And at the end of the episode, he's actually going to a culinary school, like the top school in Japan. And it's fucking decked out. But his father left the restaurant, and he's going over to, like, somewhere for, like, 2 or 3 years. Because his friend asked him to do so. While while his father's over abroad, cooking somewhere else, he's going to be studying at this Japanese top school, or he's going to try and get in at least. And for the most part, what you have here is Souma. He's trying to like surpass his father by taking over the restaurant, trying to take the reins of the family legacy, if you would. However, his father doesn't really care about that. You can see that his father, in his mind, this restaurant is like a pit stop, or more or less, it's like, it shouldn't be the main focus of one's life, just to own this particular restaurant. Because he's able to leave and like go, somewhere else to like cook for a friend of his. So it's more or less like what he's trying to teach Souma in like a weird roundabout way is you have to go out into the world and experience certain things in order to enhance your cooking skills. That's the way it seems at this point in time. So at the beginning of the episode, it seems like they have a very strong dynamic when it comes to the restaurant. But in actuality, the restaurant is just one step into attaining the pinnacle of cooking, if you would. So, it was fascinating and from that standpoint. So the characterization between father and son, and Souma himself, who is now pretty much thrown out there into, well, I can't say the world, but he's going to a school where the school you can pretty much be, like, you can tell that it's going to be like a top-notch, very difficult school. So even someone of Souma's skills may not be able to cut it. We'll have to wait and see about that. Then, story-wise, it's pretty much, it's the first episode. So we're getting character introduction, we're getting story progression, we're getting a sense of the environment that he lives in. Where even though they're a fairly, busy restaurant, you still have loan sharks running around. At the end of the episode, I think it was after the credits. No, after the ending. Well, technically it's the opening, because the opening in the first episode, they play it at the end of the episode, whatever. You have another main character come in there. Her name, Irina, I think it is. Irina, something like that. And pretty much, you can see that she has this huge standard of taste. And the taste is expressed in like this image in their minds when they're eating some type of dish. And then this, individual, she grades hard. Like, she, goes hard when it comes to how she wants her meal. So, even though there's a very comical, there's a very fun atmosphere, it's hand in hand with a very serious tone. A do or die tone, if you would. They go hand in hand. And it's pretty neat in that sense. So the episode overall, I thought was actually a very good, strong episode, with the exception of the over-sexualization when it came to both men and women, particularly women, because for the women, it was clearly more distinct with them. The dudes, it was just funny, but at the same time, you can see that they were going that way too. Like, there was one dude among her posse. This guy was fucking posed up, like, yeah, like, rippling abs and shit. And he's just, like he's having a fucking full-blown orgasm. Like they all were. And she was in the mix. Like, it was a freaking bukkake session. I was like, I didn't go to whichever side I went to watch this episode to watch a bukkake session, to watch a, what's it called? A job, a Japanese adult video. Just say. So that's it. Whatever, I'm done. So overall, the episode. Well, I liked it. I did. I can't be, because I know that this over-sexualization is going to continue. It's going to be constant. It's a constant thing in the series. But when you exclude that, the episode's strong. I mean, one of the key things here is they do teach you how to cook. I mean, granted, there are some nuances that you need to learn. And throughout the course of the series, they'll probably touch upon these nuances. Maybe. We'll find out. But it does teach you how to cook in some way. Like, I mean, when I saw him make that fake meat dish, I'm like, well, I want to try that. Shit, put some, soy sauce, butter, and some red wine in a pan and stir it up. Pour that on bacon-wrapped potatoes with some basil on that. Put it in the oven for how long? I don't know, but put it in the oven for a long period of time. It's interesting. Yeah, why not? If I have the free time, fuck it. So I'd say I'm done. King Landing. I will see you guys for episode 2 of Shokugeki no Souma. And, of course, rate the video, comment, subscribe, share your thoughts, concerns, whatnot. And, again, it's, mouse. It's, you click it, and all of a sudden you give me a dislike or a like. Not that hard. Surprise, surprise. Hey! Alright, I'm done. So, I will see you guys later. Have a nice one.